So here's lesson number 3. This is still review from last year, or from grade 9, but I think it's still fun. And art's one of those things that you learn something, but you don't necessarily leave it behind. You keep using it. You get better at it, and you use these skills to make more complicated artworks, but you still use those same fundamental skills. This one is all about this little thing here. It's called the vanishing point. And we use that to give consistency to our three-dimensional lines. You know, in the past, or the previous drawings we've done, I've just been kind of freehanding everything. But artists hundreds of years ago figured out that if you tilt all these lines so that they're like converging at this imaginary point on the horizon, it makes the drawing look a little more realistic. I'm not saying reality is like this, it's just one of the tricks that artists use. So what I would do here is take my initial flat form and I would locate a dot somewhere, ideally, but not always, on this like horizon line here. And then I use that dot to draw those 3D lines. So you see that they're not parallel anymore, they're converging on that imaginary dot way back there. And then I cut it off. And I would say, you know, I think at least, that looks a little more realistic. It also allows you to place different forms in the same space and be consistent. So here's something else here. And again, these are going to the same vanishing point. This also shows you that depending on where an object is in the picture, it's going to look different. Here, we're looking over to the left. Here, we're looking to the right. This one here is in the center. So actually, we're only going to see two sides of it. We're only going to see the top and the front like that. Likewise, if we had something that was right on the horizon like this, you wouldn't see the top or the bottom of it. You just see the front and one of the sides. And I think as you develop as an artist, if you keep doing this kind of stuff, you can kind of start to imagine, well, if something was placed in a particular place, how much of it would I see? So this allows us to build this kind of imaginary world where everything feels like it kind of fits together. I'd be using a ruler most of the time when I do this, but for now I'm not, and I kind of like it being kind of loose. It's very similar to that first thing that we did, but this time it gives everything some consistency and takes a bit of the guesswork out of it, because all you're really doing is using that line. You could start with this too if you wanted, and do something like that, and then build your form like this. Most methods I've seen start with the front, but you don't have to. And then you just erase, you know, what you don't need. So in the next video, we'll try and do a drawing that uses this one point exclusively.